The Scappoose Urban Renewal Plan was adopted in 2019. In 2020, citizens of Scappoose will find a line item on their property tax statements entitled Urban Renewal. This video is meant to help understand the purpose of this line item, but is not intended to dive into the intricacies of urban renewal tax law. This video will provide a conceptual understanding of how an assessor first calculates the amount of property tax revenue due annually to an urban renewal agency. Second, distributes the impact to regular taxing districts through property tax bills. And third, collects the revenue from the regular taxing districts. To build a conceptual understanding of urban renewal property tax generation, we will use a hypothetical city as an example. In this city, there are 40 houses, each with an assessed value of $100,000. This means the total assessed value in the hypothetical city is $4 million prior to forming an urban renewal area. In the following year, this hypothetical city forms an urban renewal area. This urban renewal area contains 10 houses and $1 million of assessed value. This is within the 25% of citywide assessed value threshold for urban renewal areas in a city the size of Scappoose. To illustrate the method of calculating urban renewal property tax revenues, we will assume that the assessed value for each house in the city grew by 3%. This means each house in the urban renewal area increased in assessed value by $3,000. Once the increase in assessed value for the urban renewal area is gathered, the process of calculating urban renewal property tax revenues can begin. The total assessed value increase in the urban renewal area is $30,000. This $30,000 will be taxed at a rate of $15 per $1,000 of assessed value. As such, the first year of tax increment finance revenues, or property tax revenues for the Urban Renewal Agency, will be $450. Many would assume that the indication of an urban renewal area would appear only on the property tax statements of the 10 houses in the urban renewal area. This, however, is incorrect. This assumption is one of the most prevalent misconceptions about urban renewal tax increment finance collections in the state of Oregon. Measures 5, 47, and 50 implemented property tax limitations which changed the way urban renewal revenues were calculated and collected in Oregon. These measures required urban renewal revenues to be accounted for in either the $10 per thousand general government taxing limit or the $5 per thousand education taxing limit. However, actual impact to the property taxing districts does not change whether it is indicated only on property tax statements in the urban renewal area or on all properties in the city. The bottom line is, in this hypothetical city and cities in Oregon, the Urban Renewal Agency has generated $450 of new property taxing revenue. The regular taxing districts will have this $450 deducted from their total revenues proportionally to their tax rates. The collection of the $450 in urban renewal property tax revenues does not affect citizens' property tax impact. The impact is still fully on the property taxing districts. The total property tax impact for a property in this city will be $1,545. Each house generated an additional $45 in property tax revenues compared to the previous year. The $45 increase is where the urban renewal impact occurs. Instead of the entirety of the $45 going strictly to the regular property taxing districts, each house will contribute $11.25 of new property tax revenue to the Urban Renewal Agency. If there was no Urban Renewal Agency, the full $45 would be distributed amongst the regular property taxing jurisdictions. To reiterate and emphasize, the amount of increased impact year to year on citizen property tax bills will be the same whether or not an urban renewal area exists in their city. Because there is an urban renewal area in the city of Scappoose, any new property tax revenue generated in the urban renewal area will be redistributed to the Urban Renewal Agency instead of the property taxing districts. Schools are impacted indirectly by urban renewal as they are funded on a per pupil basis through the state school fund. The state school fund is comprised of many sources, including property tax revenues. The per pupil funding ratio in any city does not change due to the implementation of an urban renewal area in that city.